recently been thinking about?
Mhm. Oh, so many things. I've been thinking a lot about thinking. No, I think I've obviously, been developing some new things for my business,
Mhm.
and part of what I'm really looking at is how can we do things just and that I started thinking about this in the context of how can people do marketing, but it's kind of it's spiraling a little bit. How can we do things in our lives in ways that lean in lean into our natural talents more than sort of I think there tends to be this sort of rhetoric about how we have to overcome and we have to fix our faults and overcome
Mhm.
our weaknesses, and I think it's exhausting.
Yeah.
And so I'm really trying to design some new services, products, but also just habits that are much more about actually how can I make my life a little bit easier.
Yeah.
Um, I think ease is so underestimated because I think we kind of learn that if we haven't put in effort and if it
Mhm.
wasn't hard, then we don't deserve the outcome, right? Like we've not suffered before we get to the outcome, and it's silly.
Yeah. I I don't know. My It's not resistance to AI, but it is what do I actually want to be known for, I think has been on my mind lately. And it's kind of come out after the months and months you and I have been talking about changing our business strategies because we felt like it was a lot of hard work without a lot of reward. For me, it was trying to be okay with the fact that I couldn't solve my clients' problems because they wanted to suddenly have me like looking at AI and giving them, some planning for around that or, essentially delivering stuff using AI. And it just wasn't my strength. And, I've kind of accepted that one language is definitely not my not my strength after trying to learn Dutch for a year and then failing miserably and just accepting that it is who I am. But also I was
Also, Dutch is an impossible language to learn. It's stupid.
and I'd already tried to learn a bit of German, so the crossover was very confusing.
That is very confusing. Listen, and I can say that Dutch is stupid because I am Dutch. I just want to put that out there. But also, I learned when I was younger, I learned German in school,
Mhm.
and then I moved to Denmark, and I learned Danish because I lived there. And language is a thing that I do.
Mhm.
Uh, but now, when I go to Germany and I try to speak German, like the third or fourth word turns into Danish, and then I'm Danish. And I don't notice, but German people do.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And they look at me weird. They're like, what is this lady doing? And why does she seem to think that I am going to understand what it is that she's saying? And so now I've become so like because honestly I don't notice. So now I'm just afraid to speak German because I can't guarantee that I'll stick to that language.
Well, that was yeah, so that those sort of thoughts around do I have to be good at something? Because I'm all right at a lot of things and it's that
You're also
averageness.
good at a load of things, can I
Yeah.
just say?
Yeah.
You're
And
not just all right.
I pick up stuff quickly and it helps me out enormously, but I've been thinking about the things that I don't do so well. And AI is in that area where there is a lot of new growth in it that I'm not really prepared to dive into at this point. The
But this
technical,
is exactly what I was saying as well, right? Like we're so taught that we have to overcome those things.
mm.
and and why?
Yeah, well, that was my point, that I was getting my head out of, you should do this, to, do you actually need to do it? And I came up with the conclusion of, no, I will build collaborations with people who are interested, who want to be a part of that, and I will work with them. But it was that whole trying to get myself, particularly this year, into a space of it's okay to not be in something because someone said to you, I think you should do this. And being okay with that. So that's where my head's been lately.
Well, I think we've both really been in a very similar place where we're like, where we've been looking at our business and thinking like, actually, I don't enjoy doing this. And people go like, oh, but you're so good at it. And I'm like, hi, I don't like it.
Yeah.
Or I don't like it anymore. Right. Like we sometimes you just grow out of stuff and that has to be okay as well. Like we
Yeah.
can't be stationary in that sense. But honestly, I get very I had a conversation with someone because uh in my side gig, I was working on a project and I was doing something and I was doing it very quickly because it's a skill set that I have used on the daily
Yeah.
for the past 15 years. So I can do it quickly. And they were very frustrated with that because they were like, oh, but you can do this so well. And I go like, aye. And there are other aspects of this project that I don't do very well that you are very good at,
Hmm.
which is why we're doing it together. Like I've practiced this particular skill set for 15 years. So yeah, of course I can do this really quickly,
Yeah.
very effectively, very efficiently, because I have a shit ton of experience. Um, and it's just how my brain works anyway, right?
Yeah.
Like it's already a skill that I find easy anyway. Um, and so there, and you mentioned it as well, like you will collaborate with people who can do those things. And I think that's what, you and I, we collaborate a lot. We have Tony, who we also, who's also part of our collaborative sort of
Hmm.
bubble. And I think that looking at it from that perspective, like, and whether it's I'm going to collaborate with people or it's like I'm going to hire someone to do this part of my business because I'm just not very good at it. It can be a really great way to refocus, right? Like to allow yourself to just lean into the things that come naturally and easily to you. Like not everything has to be a fight or a struggle. Like sometimes you can just go like, do you know what? I want this to be easy. So I'm going to find the easiest way to do this.
I think the other thing that has been on my mind, particularly as an expat,
Mm-hmm.
has been, um, I've got some things on in Australia at the moment, personal things that we're sort of working through. And I need to take a couple of weeks off. So I went to Australia and dealt with things there. I took the time off work. I actually, out of office was pretty much, I'm not going to look at my email, so don't even try. But it was that, a lot of expats have guilt about not being where they're supposed to be, because that's the expectation is, well, you're not at home, therefore, you're causing problems. Or, do you get what I mean? Like, you're not
I
there
mean,
to deal with it.
okay. Louisa, a lot of people have opinions about the fact that I cut ties with my family. So I
I
know
do
it
believe you wrote a
may
book about it.
I did. I do think I wrote a book about it. It's not within reach, but it is on my bookshelf.
Mine's somewhere here. I know I had it like yesterday. I had it next to me. So anyway, yeah,
It's walked away.
yeah,
But no, I get this. Like we uh I totally get that because this, people are like, oh, but there's a lot of shooting happening in the world, right? Like and this is exactly what I'm saying about like overcoming all your weaknesses. Like we should overcome this, or we should learn that skill. Like
yeah,
why learn a skill that you absolutely hate, or why are we being held to a standard of of a life that we didn't choose because it doesn't work for us,
Yeah.
right? Like,
But there's a lot of guilt that goes with that, a lot of reasoning that you kind of have to work through. And some people just kind of go, not my problem. Their personality allows them to be able to move forward in the way that they
not
want.
one of those personalities.
I'm not there either. I'm like dwelling for weeks on this
Can
sort
I
of
have one of those personalities,
stuff,
please?
and even just like, well, about a month or so ago, I couldn't do a project. I just couldn't meet the deadline that I was hoping to meet with the client. And I felt so guilty messaging going, I just couldn't get it done. I'm really sorry, but it just didn't happen. And he sent me a lovely response and I really appreciate that. But my brain was like, I have let everyone down. This is like the worst thing in the world. How dare I? And I'm really trying to give myself permission to go, it just didn't happen. I said beforehand it may not, and it just didn't. And I needed to give myself a break. And it's been
Well,
a process to be able to handle stuff like that.
yeah, and I think one of the big themes in my life this past sort of 2 years almost is to actually try and organize my life from my actual capacity rather than the capacity I wish I had.
Yeah.
Because when I do the latter, I get into trouble. And when I do the first, I have some energy left to actually enjoy life a little bit more.
Mm.
And I think that's important. But, like you said, there's so much guilt and there's so much shooting and there's so much judgment. And some of it just it's
So
a lot
I
of it
thought you
is
said
inside
shooting.
of our heart, inside of our mind, right?
Yeah.
Like I think the people around us judge us way less than we judge ourselves.
I thought you said shooting, but you said shooting, right?
Yes, yeah, yeah, yeah.
I was like, there's been a bit of shooting as well, but not in that context.
Not in my personal life. I mean, I shoot myself down. I also should myself down a lot. But I think that a lot of that happens internally, and if we can, and if we can find ways to make things easier on ourselves, then that is always worth our while.